I really do believe that worry is a misuse of our faith, right? I really believe that us humans have been blessed with an incredible imagination, right? An imagination that we can use to not only plan for the future, but create the future that we want as well. But more times than not, we use our imagination and our faith in the wrong way. Instead of using it to perceive a future in which everything that we desire, everything that we want, comes to fruition and manifests itself, right? We use it to perceive a future in which everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong, right? We use it to perceive a future in which nothing truly goes right for us, and we spend a lot of time dwelling in worry of the future and of all the negative possibilities that could happen, right? And I really believe that is truly a misuse of our faith. See, here's the thing. The only thing that truly exists is the present moment, right? Right here, right now, what we have right here, right now, is truly all that exists, right? And the future, right, quote unquote future, that we spend so much time worrying about is being created by the thoughts that we deposit today, right? By where we place our attention, right? And so if our future is being created by the thoughts that we deposit today, why not perceive a future in which everything goes right for us? Why not perceive a future in which things work out according to how we want them to work out, right? Why not choose to have the right kind of faith in our future, right? Why not have faith that everything will work out for us? Why spend so much time in worry? Alan Watts has this quote in which he says, no amount of anxiety makes a difference to anything that is going to happen, right? And that truly is one of my favorite quotes. But I would really add on to that, and I would say that anxiety and worry for the future also makes the future worse, right? It goes hand in hand with that saying where they say, you attract what you fear, right? And that truly is a real phenomenon, right? Because you have to understand that wherever we place our energy or wherever we place our attention is ultimately where we place ourselves. And if our energy and our attention is being deposited into negative thoughts, then we have no choice but to align ourselves with those thoughts, right? And with that future that we perceive to be negative, and attract it to us, right? Where we place our attention is ultimately where we place ourselves, right? And so we have the choice to place our attention in the right things. We have the choice to place our attention in a future that is fruitful, in a future that is successful, in a future in which everything truly works out for us, right? And this is why I talk so much about, seeing beyond what is in front of you, trusting beyond what is in front of you, right? And not using your trust and your faith to dwell in worry, but more so using your trust and your faith to have hope for the future, to have faith in the future, right? I really do believe that. I think most of us, we wake up every day and we dwell in a constant place of worry. And don't get me wrong, I used to be one of those people that I'd wake up and I'll be in constant worry for the future, right? And it goes back to really, my upbringing, right? Because you have to understand that when you spend so much time around people who are always negative, people who are always pessimistic, that mindset gets seeped into your mindset and you allow their thoughts to become your thoughts. And that's one of the things that happened to me. So the moment I begin to sort of seek knowledge for myself, go out there and live life for myself, and I made it a decision and I made it, a priority to rewire my brain and take my attention from the negative to the positive, not only did I find peace, but things started to work out in my favor as well. Things started to truly, come into alignment. And that truly is the power of placing your faith, or using your faith in the right way, right? And let's say all the things that you're worrying about, right? Let's say everything that you're worrying about, right? Let's say you're worrying about an incident happening. You're worrying about the fact that, you might have an interview or something coming up, whatever it is that you're worrying about in this moment, let's say that thing that you're worrying about becomes the present moment, right? You have to have the faith, you have to have the courage, you have to have the conviction that you will find the strength and the know-how to overcome it, right? Think about it. You've probably been in that position in which you were faced with challenges, a great deal in your past, right? And you still found a way to overcome it. You found a way to rise above it, right? I really believe that the present moment equips us with whatever we need to deal with whatever comes to us in the moment, right? But you dwelling in worry of the future of an event that is not even here isn't going to help you solve it, and it can't help you solve it because it doesn't exist, right? All we have is right here. And so whenever you're presented those challenges, those obstacles, those things that you worry about, you're going to find the strength and the courage to overcome them. You always do. I really believe that a lot of us, in our worry, we don't really recognize that we've been through so much more than we're worrying about, right? If you've made it this far in your life, I'm sure you were faced with obstacles that, you had to overcome. And prior to facing them, you probably didn't see a way out. But once you were facing them in the moment, a solution came to you, right? The way to overcome it came to you, right? The truth is that we're always being guided whether we believe it or not. And some of the things that we spend a lot of time worrying about, some of the negative things that, we might have faced were truly some of the best things that could happen to us, right? And I don't mean to sound that in a masochistic way, right? I really do mean that, right? Sometimes our greatest growth comes in the form of our greatest challenges. Sometimes, the things that we face are the things that help mold us into becoming the best version of ourselves, right? So every challenge, every obstacle that, we're perceiving in the future and we fear happening, you never truly know why, it's going to happen, right? And truth is that you never truly know what is going to happen, right? You have to trust in the future. You have to trust that everything that, is going to happen for you and not to you. You have to trust that life is working out for you, right? And it all comes from using your faith in the right way. It all comes from having, conviction and belief that things are unfolding how they are meant to be unfolding. You don't need to dwell in a state of worry, right? Life is never truly against you. And the onus on us is to really reclaim, our faith. The onus on us is to use our faith in the right way, to use our faith to trust the future, right? And not dwell in a state of worry. The more you dwell in a state of worry, the more you allow those things to be attracted to you, because, the universe brings whatever you're aligned with mentally and on an emotional level to you, right? You have to allow yourself to be free of that worry, right? If you can't go from perceiving a future that is extremely positive, then at least what you can do is not identify with those thoughts of worry. To see them for what they truly are, as just an old programming, an old story, right? You can. Right? I really believe in the power of asking ourselves, what if, what if things work out? What if things work out in my favor? What if the thing that I'm worrying about is, my greatest blessing, right? What if the universe is aligning me with whatever it is that whatever it is that is for me, right? What if the universe is aligning me with all the opportunities, all the blessings that are for me and for my betterment? What if the universe is aligning me with the things that are meant to facilitate my growth, right? What if is a very powerful question you can ask yourself, right? The moment I started to ask myself, what if things are truly working, is the more things truly work. Because I'm not depositing my attention in the things that could go wrong. I'm using my attention to perceive the positive things, right? And that is truly a great power. That is truly powerful, right? So if you're worrying in this moment, right? If you're in a state of fear of the future, if you're anxious about the future, give yourself time to breathe. Give yourself time to relax. Allow yourself to realize that whatever it is that you're worrying about, right? If it does come to fruition, you will find the know-how to overcome it. You will find a way to rise above it, right? You've rose above so much more in your past, and you can rise above so much more, right? The future is never something for you to fear. The future is something for you to be hopeful in. The future is something for you to trust, because things are always working out in your favor, no matter how bleak they seem, no matter how, I guess, negative things might seem in the moment, right? Things are always working out for you. But you have to allow yourself to be in a positive state of mind so that you can find, the seeds of growth, the opportunities, right? The things that you can use to better your life and become a better person. But no amount of anxiety is going to make a difference or anything that is going to happen. So don't allow yourself to spend no more time in worry. Trust, right? Use your faith in the right way. Trust that things are aligning you, or you're aligning with the things that are meant for you. Trust that everything that you desire is coming to you. Trust that all the problems that you perceive to be in the future are going to, find a way to be resolved. You have to see better to be better, right? Things are working out for you. Everything that you desire is on its way to you. All the challenges that you think are hindrances are actually blessings, right? You're never truly alone. Trust, have faith, and believe that things are truly working out in your favor, because they truly are. Peace and blessings.